Hello and welcome to the channel. Well, today's episode is going to be all about not dropping your battery off of your bike onto the floor, which I'm sure some of you have already done. Very easy to do, very easy mistake to make, not to lock your battery onto your bike. And we were very close once to doing it and thought there must be a way or a system or a process we can put in place to stop this from happening. How can we stop this from happening? What's the trick to this to stop you from forgetting to lock your battery on the bike? Now, when you have the battery on the bike and you go to charge the battery, most people probably take the battery off. If you don't, well, that's fine. Then if it's always on the bike locked on, you won't have this problem. But those of you that take the battery off for charging, you may have this problem where you forget to lock the battery on the bike. And why is that? Well, we thought about it, and what we come up with is the idea that when you take the battery off the bike, you need the key. You have to have the key to take the battery off the bike, assuming you locked it on the bike in the first place, of course. So you don't forget to unlock the battery to fit it on, or you don't forget to unlock the battery to take it off of the bike, because you have to get the key. So to unlock it, you need the key. So we thought, right, well, okay, what about if whenever you take the battery off the bike, you unlock it with the key, but then as soon as the battery is off of the bike, you lock the battery back up. Not onto the bike, but you just put the key back in the lock and you turn it the opposite way, so that the little pin on the battery is now out rather than in. And what that means is that when you go to put the battery back on the bike, you can't put it on the bike until you get the keys to unlock it. And when you get the keys to unlock it, to fit it back on the bike, guess what? You're going to remember to lock the battery back onto the bike afterwards, because you'll have the keys in your hand. See, the problem lies really in the fact that to put the battery on the bike, you don't need the keys. So you charge the battery, you probably put the keys in your pocket, jacket, on the table, wherever you keep them. And then when the battery's fully charged, you go back to the bike with the battery and you slide the battery on. Of course, if you haven't got the keys in your hand, guess what? You're going to forget, possibly, to lock the battery back onto the bike. So I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to take this battery off and just show you the underside of the battery and show you that key and what happens when you turn the key. Right, so I've got the battery off the bike. On the top there you'll see the lock. I'm going to put the key in the lock here. I'm going to turn the key, and look at what happens underneath here. It's a little bolt that comes in and out as you turn that key. Now you can charge the battery, and when you go to put the battery back on, there's no way that battery is going to fit on that plate down there without you unlocking the battery, because you've got this hole here, and that hole is where the bolt goes into, but you can't slide the battery on with the bolt sticking out the battery, because it will hit the back of the battery plate. So you need to now unlock the battery. First, get that little pin back in, and then you can fit this battery back on the mounting plate. There we go. Slide it in, and then because you've got your keys with you, you will now remember to lock the battery back on the bike. So it's not a fail-safe system, but if you get into that routine of whenever you take the battery off the bike, unlock the battery, take it off the bike, and then straight away lock the battery back up again, or turn the key in the battery so the little pin comes out. Then you can charge the battery. It doesn't matter where you put the keys, then you can put them in your pocket, in your jacket, on the table, wherever you want to put them. But when you finish charging the battery 4 or 5 hours later, sometimes the next morning, you put the battery on, you won't get the battery on until you can find the keys to unlock the battery, and then you'll have the keys in your hand, and that will remind you to lock the battery up. And well, I'm sorry, if you still forget to lock the battery on, then we can't help you. There's no help, we can't help you for that. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this. Well, certainly it's give you a bit of information which is very important, because the battery is probably half the cost of your bike, very expensive. So that's all we have for you today. But thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.